Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the Peace Dealer. And with the moon in Aquarius that has recently humped over nuclear Aquarius, please do not allow the pressure of other people's opinions to shake your core confidence. This Aquarius Taurus square is the Capricorn signature of completion, the elite signatures, Cap, Aqua, and Pisces. And what's significant about this is the Aquarius square to Taurus is about your self-worth versus, of course, the collective consciousness and what everyone believes they know. Collective narratives versus your own idea, all right? It's important to control your narrative, but before you do that, if you understand, or with this Sun in Taurus, you're aware of what your worth is and what it's meant to be, this will allow you to not give away your power and allow others to own you or define your worth, okay? A square like this gives you insight to maybe if you overvalued yourself, you can bring balance. And if you undervalued yourself, you can bring balance, okay? But regardless, I just wanted to say that first and foremost, that collective pressure will be intense, but this will enable you to manifest certain skills and talents at will through this process in an effort to remind you how strong you've always been. Now, the 270-degree angle between the moon in Aquarius and the sun in Taurus is finalizing the contract that's going to get you paid, all right? This contract you're going to understand when the moon hits Saturn in Pisces. Saturn is going to retrograde in a couple of months back to 13 degrees. Pluto is going to retrograde in another couple of weeks. So we finished the first phase that has set us up to this point. This transit is very iconic in that Mars has just began its dignity and transit in Aries, and Venus has just began her dignity and transit in Taurus, while Neptune is still in its dignity at the final degree of Pisces. This is peak astrology, ladies and gentlemen. And wherever Aries is in your chart, this is what's going to account for the actions you are ready to act off on that the new moon in Aries cycle we initiated. This 270-degree angle in Taurus season is the completion of this new moon in Aries activation 3.5 weeks ago that we initiated. And so not only are we coming into a mathematical completion of the harvest of these actions, converting into the value and the worth of who you are and what you have. Oh, so adorable. This is also now having Mars take action off of new powers you have just activated, which will now allow up until June 7th for you, that's the whole Mars transit, to unlock this original power, all right? This completion that has converted into natural energy in a week, next Wednesday, will set up the new moon in Taurus that will activate a new 12-year cycle of wealth, especially with Uranus, which now adds unconventional facets, whether through unexpected windfalls of income or just a whole new cycle of extraordinary independence, that now this moon in Aquarius helps you understand what it is over the past week you've actually been harvesting. The moon in Capricorn completed that final third stage of harvest since the full moon in Scorpio, the moon in Sagittarius that now produced the effect of what's changing relative to what we've harvested, and then the moon in Aquarius that directed that change. Now the moon in Aquarius is awakening an extraordinary, supernaturally extreme element of energy and knowledge to make you aware of what it is you're worth. This is the day you know. We have officially crossed over this 270-degree angle maybe 6 hours ago. And so as the moon continues through Aquarius, this is not only going to give you a celestially advanced knowledge of what you're worth, but it's going to strengthen how you carry yourself. As kings or queens, do not suffer the opinion of sheep. And this enables you to crystallize through the pressure what you stand on your own too. This is very important, especially given the polarization of recent actions over the past couple of hours to days that could have you more extremely stand on an unpopular opinion. Even if it is a popular opinion, your quality of how well you can stand on this is not only going to be tested through the rest of this week, but if you are standing on a foundation that's not firm, it will collapse with this pressure. Versus if you are on a firm foundation, there could be as much pressure as there is possible. You're going to be on a solid foundation, and this is going to only add to your value. There are many things that you may be standing on now that through the moon in Pisces will not necessarily be seen until we change this perception. And now people are looking at you like you predicted something when it wasn't really that much psychic ability. You just know what it is you represent. You know what it is you stand for. All right. This is going to give you a higher knowledge of what that is, and if you're like that. Basically, are you like that? If you're willing to really stand 10 toes down, this is really where you're going to claim that. And it's okay to be afraid of the pressure, but don't be a bitch. Like, don't be a coward. Really stand on what you know you believe in, and don't let peer pressure, manipulation, and gaslighting from others switch you out your position because others have something to gain from you compromising your own worth. Don't be a coward, okay? And you're not. So this is going to be very rewarding. Capricorn signatures and lunar cycles are the reward, okay? The 10th, 11th, and 12th house. The moon in Pisces is going to be the most divine, legendary reward that we'll be experiencing. That means we're going to come into the reward now, and then over the next 2.5 days, when the moon goes over into Pisces, we're going to experience the nature of this reward within its totality with Saturn, which is also a mini contract. This is all going to set up the new moon in Taurus. And in knowing that you're coming into the knowledge of what you've harvested, the quality of your energy, the quality of what you can manifest, its square the moon will make to Uranus and Jupiter will tie you into instant manifestation capability. The way you use your own instant manifestation capability is going to be uniquely different than every other person, like a snowflake. So everyone is stepping into a much more advanced software update of instant manifestation relative to the alignment of your own values. There are idiots and idiot muggles out here who believe manifestation is a bunch of hogwash. There are people who are very genius but have not evolved into their higher potential and don't really believe in their ability to manifest. Be very mindful about playing with this concept. You never not manifest. Manifestation is not some boogeyman magic ritual where you just wish for something and things happen to you. It is a perpetual, consistent, and constant realignment with your thoughts and your actions. To think as if you already own what you have is the mark of a master. There's no one who's desperate in doing this who gets what they want because they don't even have the discipline to keep their mind aligned. This is what puts you in position to take the action necessary to get what it is you want versus just going off of some old tradition and ideal, a false myth that you have to work hard to get what you want, when all of the smartest and all of the most successful people in the world work smart. They don't work hard. They work smarter than they work hard. I don't know who lied to you and told you that working hard is what this is about. No, you are supposed to work smarter than you work hard. Every single innovation that we have seen in the work environment is because these innovations allowed people to work smarter than they work hard, saving time. Because time is money. Money is bullshit. Time is money. And the way you manage your time is what's going to open up what value you can manifest. And so for those of you who know that this is not some pop psychology bullshit and that you have real power, there is a universe within you and you have so much power in your word. I'm not talking about people whose word doesn't mean shit, because when you do not honor your word, it's going to weaken the vibration of it universally. And if you can't even take yourself serious, the universe is not going to match that. For those of you who there's power in your word, when you say that this is what it is and that's what it is, you guys are going to be experiencing the most uncanny awakening of this ability to manifest that you have had since birth. But the potency of it has quite literally evolved. Uranus conjunct Jupiter in Taurus, 12 years in the making. This next 12-year cycle is quite literally, what do you do when you've evolved your ability to manifest to now a near instantaneous quality? This now requires an element of responsibility, where now I have to have integrity in what I believe, because I'm not riding training wheels anymore. I know that everything that I am focusing and thinking on is translating through my imagination into reality through me, not through some magic genie, bitch. I'm the magic genie. You're the magic genie. And this is what's going to open up your options, your nuclear options. If you are not about that life, take shelter. Look at me. If you are not like that, if you're not willing to die for what it is you represent, take shelter. Go stay inside. Do not be outside at all. There's no social energies. Nuclear options are being considered. And you can abstractify or you can mundane astrology this to mean, oh, our nuke's gonna be dropped in war. I'm talking about the options that you have and other people will open up to them, where now there is an extreme facet that was not optional to use that is optional to use. Weak people who are not used to strength always go for the strongest options. Strong people who rest in their strength don't rely on options. They can take their time with other options because they know they're strong within themselves. So fully expect other people who aren't really got it like that inside to exhaust all their options. And as you weather the storm, this will secure your victory. And this will show you how even other people's worst isn't even at the level to what you know you can do. Other people's best isn't even touching your worst, all right? And when I meant other people's worst, it doesn't matter how worse other people could do. You're going to really see, especially through the moon in Pisces, wow, the expectation versus the reality is different. You may have been overestimating others and underestimating yourself. So this Capricorn signature is unlocking the completion of harvest, helping you understand the knowledge of what direction to take relative to the North Node in Aries, and challenging you to maintain eccentricity and uniqueness as you will activate through the square instantaneous manifestation quality. The ability of it and the experience will be through the moon in Pisces. But this quality is where you start to actually, oh wow, I made it happen. And then the moon in Pisces is where you start to adjust the experience of, well, I believe I can do this with it. I could believe I could do that with it. None of this is going to happen if you're not like that. And if you're allowing outside voices and circumstances to convince you of an illusion that what you see is real. Newsflash, you see less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So unless you're God, and I don't mean in the way these new age people are saying they are, unless you actually know everything that's happening right now, you hallucinate your conscious reality. Go look up a Neil Seth, you hallucinate your conscious reality TED Talk. This is a fact. You do not have the critical brain processing function to be aware of what's even happening in a moment before the next moment happens. So to look at your external environment and believe that it is what it is delusion. You've been conditioned to think this way. None of that has ever been based in reality or science. Believing is seeing. You have 99% excess of a metaphysical aspect of yourself that can completely change a situation instantly. And you don't have to have blind faith. You have to know. And that's the completion of Taurus. You're manifesting, and you know what it is you're manifesting. You don't need physical evidence for that. You're the physical evidence. That takes maturity and power to actually rest in. And for those of you who have it, get ready. It's instant manifestation, baby. For those of you who don't, you're going to understand how to develop that. All right. And that's what's going to open up these options. Use them wisely. And congratulations. It's time for you to receive your reward. Do you know what it is? If not, you will. Peace.